All right. I'm probably going to Fed post on this. But I'm listening to this video and they're talking about how the Secret Service on the 6th, yes, January 6th, was, that they were scared. And I say to myself, why the fuck were they scared? You're going to take a bullet for the president and die. Why the fuck are you scared? It's like, what? Why is that? It's like, did you ever hear Reagan's folks say, "Man, I was scared because of the dude that was trying to kill Reagan"? I didn't hear that. Did you hear the Secret Service who were scared? Um, what occurred at JFK or whichever event you want to choose? The attempt on Gerald Ford's life or whatever. Why the fuck were you scared? It's like, get the fuck out of here. I'll tell you why you were scared. You were scared because people weren't just going to be pliant. You know, I've gone back and forth and back on my views on the January 6th, but you know what? Regardless of what way you want to put it was an exciting day. It was a day where people stood up and said, no, fuck you. I don't care whether it was MAGA peds or whatever. I don't give a fuck. It was the attitude of, I don't get, just seeing a nigga come in there, put his feet on the desk, on Pelosi's desk and say, ha ha, we made it in here. I like that vibe. I'm going to be honest with you. I like that fucking vibe. Politicians being scared saying, I never saw anything as bad when I was in Iraq. Because you probably never saw the real shit. You were probably never there when Hatib Hezbollah came into Baghdad and whatnot. So shut the fuck up. But in all honesty, they should be afraid. They should be afraid. When you see Secret Service agents scared and whatnot, you should be afraid. Because you're not going to have the same cushy fucking job that you once did. At least, well, let's be honest. Not all of you will. Some will. Some will find a way to play the game and they will end up being the new whatever, the new Gestapo or the new Big Light Commando or whichever you want to say, if we want to go, or new KGB or whatever. But is it the life that you lead right now is not going to be the same thing? That's what you're scared of. And you should be. You should be scared of that. Because January 6th is nothing. January 6th is going to be nothing compared to what's going to occur later on. Nothing. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's going to keep getting worse. Now, do I think it's going to be all out civil war? My LARP fantasies are just like, yes, yes. But reality tells me no. But when you see feds and politicians scared, and when you see them admit it's like, oh, well, it was so awful what happened on the 6th, some of that is acting. Some of that is just playing up for the cameras and chewing the scenery. Some of it is real. And you have to be able to separate, as Notorious B.I.G. said, separate game from truth. There's a lot of game out there. When you see, all these lefties ultimately start sucking the dick of the establishment, who are just like, yeah, the Dutch citizens who are, the Dutch farmers out there, they're actually kulaks. So who cares? It's actually good that the World Economic Forum is doing this. Or, apparently they're going to have limitations of fertilizer in Canada as well. So we're going to see more riots in Canada as well. Biggest producer of potash. When you see this shit, and when you see what side people are taking, it's a fucked up thing. But you're going to have divided lines, Just like yesterday when I went to the Beto rally, or whatever you want to call it. he was very careful with his language. He didn't want to say, oh, well, I don't want to, I want to legalize cannabis, but I don't want my kids smoking it right now in school, this and that. Very pussy sort of attitude. And he's talking, of course, more about Medicare, Medicaid, shit like that. All the empty promises. I mean, he's gonna get creamed anyway, in my opinion. If he does win, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything like I'm gonna eat in hat. I'm not gonna do that. What I will say is, if he does win, he's gonna cuck out. He's gonna give into the establishment. Whatever the Democratic Party tells him to do, he's gonna do. Because he is, like I say, he's just such a pitiful character. But anyway, beyond that, January 6th was an exciting day. And it was just the beginning. It's a spark. It's a spark that's still out there. We see that the protests over 2020, a lot of it was astroturfed. A lot of it was controlled. Some of it wasn't. But it was not all peaceful, this and that. There were buildings that were burned and shit like that. Blame the Proud Boys, blame whoever. I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, it was just the start. We've had a lull because of Biden, but we see that Biden has, and the administration behind it, Yellen and all these other folks have whizzed whatever is left of the economy down their leg. Promises just aren't coming. I know it's only been 2 years, but now we see a lot of folks are angling for higher office. We see Kamala Harris coming in, this and that. And we're going to see where this goes, don't we? Won't we? And, the sparks are going to come out. The sparks are going to light something else. The energy's out there. There's no doubt. It's just laid dormant for a bit. The energy's out there. It's just a matter of what is going to be that next spark. What's that next dust off point? That next dust up. Portland, like I said, Portland fight number, 3085. I think Portland is a shell at this point. Who gives a fuck about Portland? Seattle, maybe. I don't, where is the next one at? Where is the next low intensity conflict going to be? We saw the riots in Philly recently. We've seen different areas. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's bring this back around, though. The feds and the politicians should be scared. They should be afraid. Because this system that was created, that they largely had nothing to do with, but they benefit from, it's going away. They can go ahead and make their angles. They can go ahead and control and try to, collectivize the land as much as they want, which is what they're trying to do in the Netherlands and what they will try to do in Canada to buy up land. But people are going to fight back. And it's not going to be pretty. That's all I can tell you. I would say harden your hearts and harden your resolve. And whatever you do is what you do. It's none of my business. And I don't hold any sort of, I'm not saying you do anything. I'm not advocating any sort of violence. But I would just say, I'm going to put it this way. When worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. You can go ahead and define your people as racial. You can go ahead and define your people as the folks around you. You can define it as your Latino wife, Define peoples as whatever you want, but, defend what you got to defend. Within reason. I think that's all I got. I know that this was real schizo, a little bit Fed posty, as much as I tried to downplay it yesterday in the live stream, but sometimes a bit of Fed posting is healthy, and I feel that this is important to be, somewhat healthy. But of course, like I say, realize to a point, some of this is Fed posting. Just be careful. Don't get caught up in the bullshit too much. Don't get caught up in these organizations that will probably lie to you, and some of them are Fed controlled. Do what you do for your own people, though, whatever those people may be. Anyway, that's all I got. See you later. Goodbye.